As I was out walking, I saw this tree, kind of like a eucalyptus tree, and the leaves are about my head height at the bottom. It looked so beautiful as I watched. Usually I do this every now and then, go for a walk and I stop and watch trees, flowers. There's a sense of resonance to what's going on there. Tree, flower, bushes, whatever that is. And if you contrast to the buildings and the concrete, there's something more about the aliveness. I thought about flying in the, I don't know what you call that, like a space shuttle, but going beyond the galaxy or different planet, even going to the different planets, whatever. It may be happening already, not in human species, but other species may be doing it. But if I'm one of them, I don't know if I feel really resonating with the rocket and the space out in the darkness. I like the nature and the plants, and I know it because that's where I came from. I keep saying the roots of who I am. It's the law of nature and how it manifested over time, and here I am. So why am I talking about it? So on one hand, there's nature and the resonance, connection, bliss, melting, wonderful sense. But then I noticed that the lights, someone left it on, and this is the small park, so the city government, they were talking about saving energy, but for whatever reason, this is happening. So it's difficult. So in a way that as bureaucracy, how to manage. So we are obliged to inform them and do something. Then my thought went on further. There's a video I mentioned about Buddha facing the army coming to conquer the Shaka clan where he came from. And he was perhaps about 79 years old because he was about to die in the next year or two. He was standing on the way for the army to go to the nation. And the army stopped. And the next day, Shaka stayed there. Or the Shaka meaning the Shakyamuni Buddha. We call Buddha. And then the fourth day he was gone and the Shaka clan was perished. The nation was taken over by this army. So he had a choice of staying there, standing forever, but he decided to move on. I posted this video because that was the same kind of sense I felt, not the army, but some bureaucracy and difficulty in business. What could I do? Nothing. Accept and move on. So life is such that we have to make those choices, whatever we can and cannot, and listen to your heart and find a way. It's not easy when your genuine sense of what needs to be done is not done and cannot do it, but that happens. So there's a compassion that I talked about. Forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Then I thought I have to forgive myself, for I do not know what I'm doing, so I get confused and get bound in this bonding situation. Then I talked about this Shin Buddhism, Amida. So you need to forgive yourself, and for that, the vow of Amida Buddha, the compassion will take over. I think that's a wonderful idea, and I feel the sense of it. So Zen more for the wisdom, and Shin Buddhism more for compassion. I talked about that, and I'm fairly convinced that works. So what's at the end when you cannot go anywhere? That you want to do certain things but not can be done. Acceptance. If I think about it, this law of impermanence, human species may die because of the meteorite hitting or end of the world. The sun is growing and capturing Earth billion years from now. So the eternal life is only possible if you are one with the law of the universe. So that's one resolution. The reason why I mentioned about let's follow the will of the universe, because it's manifesting in us and you cannot go away from it. In our mind, we have this desire of doing something right and be sincere about it. But we face death, we face bureaucracy, unavoidable situation in nature. But it's part of us. We are all following the law of nature. But we have the law of nature inside of us. When I talk and when my blood circulates, digest food, all of that. So what does that mean? Then I thought about the notion of emptiness, acceptance of everything. Whatever in the mind is like a dream. So you want to get to the root of who we are. That's the law of the universe. And everything is a manifestation of that. And you can say there's no value because everything is impermanent. That's the 4 principles of the law, the Dharma. Life is suffering. Everything is impermanent. There's no self, nothing, and there's eternal peace, quietude. So I think that captured the Buddha's teaching. And at the end is what I just said. And that's also maybe called as nirvana, eternal peace. And then you have this blissful sensation, you being one with it. Why blissful? Because I'm following the law of nature, the law of the universe, the sense of waka aliveness, doing whatever best I can, accepting everything as it is. So I tend to think that's what Buddha felt, standing in the middle of the road and facing the army, but moved on. Impermanence, no self. Do your best. Be with the law of nature. I don't think this should be called as pessimistic view. It's very affirmative, in line with the law of nature. I hear the crow. I hear the clock ticking. I thought I wanted to capture, to appreciate this moment. And be with the flow of the universe in nirvana, in nothingness, like a vast stillness, blue sky, everything melting with the law of nature as it is.